I see. We're starting. We listened to the album "Those Who Throw Objects at the Crocodiles Will Be Asked to Retrieve Them" by Bruno Pernadas. How do we do this? I say something. I'll say something.
Yeah.
Do something.
I like this album. I forget how I found it. I think it was on. I think someone suggested it to me on Rate Your Music, probably that or Reddit, one of those two. And then I listened to it, and I like it. Next,
Sick.
I'll say my full opinion at the end.
Do it. Who would like to go first?
Sam.
Oh. I like when I go last because I feel like I'm the headliner. Like, you know what I mean?
You're the opening act.
I don't want to go first. I went first last time.
I know. No, I'll go first.
Hell yeah.
Well, I loved it. This is my. Sick. I thought we were out of muffins for a second. I loved it, and I listened to it like the day after we agreed on it, and I was so interested in it because I'd never heard of the guy. It seemed like a more current album, so I figured that I would, but I'd never seen the album cover or heard of it or anything. So I was like very interested, and I listened to it right away.
Where is she going? Sam, where are you going?
I went downstairs to get a muffin, and then back up.
Oh, okay. We can't. There's no background. I was just confused. I'm sorry. Continue.
Okay, so I put it on like not knowing what to expect, and then it's like a poem is first. I was like, cool, and then it goes right into like a poppy jazz song that keeps changing time signatures. And then as the album progresses, it covers like a lot of territory. Besides that, I thought it was gonna be like that vibe the whole time, and I was like okay for it, and I was ready for it, but it sounds like 1 minute it sounds like some like more modern jazz fusion band, and then it'll be like Sufjan Stevens like Illinois era album, and then it goes into like Arcade Fire. Like it does so much the whole time, all without being too jarring of a shift. Like I thought the album that we just listened to did that, but in such a messy way where it felt like it was like a bunch of different EPs released over years, all just put together, which I think Jake might have said it was. But this album, it transitioned well. Like it had like a uniform sound, just executed in different ways, and it made it so interesting to listen to. And like I said, all those artists that I named that I saw the influence in the album, I love all those bands. And so like if you guys like that album, listen to Illinois by Sufjan Stevens. That whole album, it's the same thing, probably a little bit better. And that is why I'm only gonna give it a 4 out of 5. It's a very good 4.
I'll take it.
Everything that it did, I've like heard done by different bands a little bit better.
Okay.
But it was all compiled into one album and done well. They just wear their influence on their sleeve like so brightly, just like that yellow sweatshirt you got on. That's their influence. That's not always necessarily a bad thing, and it made for an enjoyable listen.
Very cool, Sam.
Cheers.
What? I'm sorry. Before the next person goes, what kind of muffin is that?
Thank you for asking. It's banana raspberry.
Interesting. Banana raspberry. All right. Who's next? It's gonna be Jake.
Shit.
I'm so excited.
I liked it a lot better than your last pick.
I'll take it.
And actually, wait 1 second. Let me find what song it was.
Actually,
But
I'm excited for the end of the sentence.
while I will say this is the first album we've picked that I have personally added one of the songs to my own playlist.
Dab. Boss. In the words of Sam Ansa, boss.
Wow, not even Mac Miller was worthy of that. Surprising.
That is
Well, I think I already had him on a couple of playlists.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but like I had good news on this playlist already. I put Yeah Yeah Breathe on this playlist.
Yeah, yeah.
Great song.
That's a fantastic song.
A lot going on, and yeah, they pack a lot into a short amount of time. And I normally don't like lengthier songs, but I didn't mind it that much on this because it was always like it wasn't like repetitive. They always had something exciting going on. Um, I don't know, like I don't have a ton to say because I don't usually listen to this kind of music, but I really enjoyed it and I gave it a 4.
4 out of 5. Going strong so far. Will, let's hear it.
I wasn't
He said I wasn't.
I wasn't expecting it to be as jazzy as it was.
Okay. Good so far.
But like I kind of didn't know how to feel the first song, and then I got like more interested in the album as I was listening to it.
Okay.
But I don't know. I think my main complaints just kind of internally, and this is more of like this isn't really me critiquing it, but this is kind of like comparing it to the music I usually enjoy. It's it's structured kind of like a jazz album in that there's not really there's like maybe a main. So the melody structure is kind of weird in this album, like in terms of what songs it or what wow, I'm really fumbling over my words.
It's okay. We'll take your time.
Like what sounds are being chosen for the melody. It changes it up a lot of the time. There's a lot of different sounds and melodies on this album, but the main motif is like that really like shiny, silvery kind of female vocals. That's kind of present throughout the entire album. And other than that, they have like weird like trumpets with different effects put on, or like some synths or some guitars. And so while I thought it was interesting, I thought the sounds of some of the melodies were kind of the weakest part of the album for me. Some sounds would be like, oh, that's a cool sound. But then other sounds would be like, does this sound cool enough to warrant it being a melody for a song? So that's the main thing I was like questioning throughout. But I think that is outweighed by its main strength, which is the grooves. Like this album has the sickest grooves on it. Like just I think some of it I think it's like a mix of sample based and like just regular musicians playing. Like I felt like some parts he sampled and then made kind of the groove out of different samples with maybe a drummer behind him, and then other times it would just be like kind of more like a straight up folky jazz type construction. But yeah, I just thought I wasn't crazy about some of the melody sounds, and I wasn't crazy about some of the melodies themselves, but I thought like the grooves were really cool and the soloing throughout, whether it be like guitar or saxophone, was really well done. So I'm gonna give it a 3.5, but like a strong 3.5.
That is a solid score. I'll take it. Very cool. Very cool take on that. I hadn't really thought about that, and it's interesting to hear that. So I'll go. I really love this album. Obviously, that's why I chose it. I wrote a review. This is some fun trivia. I wrote a review for this in July, and it actually got chosen to be on the like Rate Your Music like front page, which is absolutely. And I was like, what the hell? Like they didn't tell me. I just saw it, and I was like, oh shit, there it is. It's kind of a bad review too. This is just like a bunch of words. But I agree with Sam. There's a lot of influences present, and I don't know. I didn't hear the ones you said. I heard Sufjan a little bit, but Arcade Fire kind of eluded me, if you will. I heard more like Stereolab, Yola Tango, kind of like more, yeah, like more jazz pop stuff rather than like indie. I don't even know what you want, like post-punk revival. I don't even know what to call Arcade Fire anymore. I hear what you're saying, and I agree. It's just it's interesting that there's a lot of influences here. You can take a lot out of that. Yeah, I think every song here I like. The poems are kind of like throwaway, whatever. They're just kind of there to like give you a break from, the onslaught of what's happening, of like all the different melodies. What are those called? Time signature changes, and instruments. So those are kind of like whatever, but they're only a minute long, so it's like you can forget about. Reading what I have here. Yeah, obviously "Ya Ya Breathe" is like probably the standout track just because of how long it is, and I agree, Jake. It doesn't feel that long. Like it's 13 minutes, and I never feel like, oh my god, this is such a long song, because it just keeps going, and it never like gets stuck anywhere. It just like it throws new things at you, which I really like. I think my favorite song is "Galaxy," just because of that like groove halfway through, where like the beat switches. That's cool. Another complaint I had was the seventh song, just kind of this like sample, ambient, whatever. It's another kind of throwaway song that I'm just like, whatever. I don't know why this is here, but fine. So yeah, that's basically my main review, is that I like a lot of what's going on. There's just some throwaway songs, like the poems. But yeah, I love the sounds they blend together to make like this lounge-ish, kind of spacey jazz pop. And I like this album a lot. Ding. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. I could see it going down to a 4, but I'm gonna keep it at a 4.5 because I like it.
I think that makes it the highest rated song,
I
or
think
highest rated album.
I think so. We're gonna find out right now, live on the air. So that's an average. That's a total score. Cat, I think Cat. Total score of 16 divided by 4. That is an average of 4 out of 5.
Same.
Wow.
That is the highest so far. Bolded in our group. That's
Folded.
cool. Great work, team. Glad you guys liked it.
Yeah, Will totally missed out on that group high five because he was like looking at his
Sorry,
wall.
I was getting
Do it again.
mentally prepared.
You ready? Sam? There we go. Okay. That was pretty good.
That was sad.
All right. So for next week, I'm sure you guys could guess again what I'm going to recommend.
Stadium.
No. No. I'm not going to make you listen to a double album, let alone like an album with so many dead songs. Close though. I'm going to recommend The Empyrean by John Frusciante.
I was literally so close.
Next month I'll give you a curveball, but I wanted to recommend this because he recently rejoined the Chili Peppers, and this was the last album he released before quitting the Chili Peppers back in 2009, and Flea plays on it, and I think Chad Smith plays on it. There's a lot of guitar playing, some experimental sounds, and I haven't really listened to it before. I just kind of have been waiting for the opportunity to.
Sick.
Will, you're a madman.
Devious.
Absolute stoner.
Say absolute stoner.
No, stoner. S-T-U.
I heard stoner and I was like, yeah, damn you, Will.
Okay, cool. I'm excited. I've never listened to John Frusciante.
Appreciate.
Bless you. Sounds like a sneeze. That's the joke. Okay.
Cool.
Very cool.
Let's meet again.
Epic.
How do I? Okay, I can hit stop.